Hello folks, welcome back to the Urban Rider Studio on a day where I am a little bit conflicted. Let me explain. Introducing the trousers to my right, these are the Knox Shield Armoured jogging bottoms, and they're part of Knox's tracksuit line. They are also CE AAA certified, and they might well be the lightest and most flexible and most comfortable AAA certified trousers I've come into contact with. But they also happen to be jogging bottoms, and I don't think I've left the house wearing jogging bottoms since I was about 12. It's just not my style, although I know that it is to some people's taste. And as far as jogging bottoms go, these actually do look quite nice. I think that is helped by the fact that they are solid black. Additionally, you can complete the look, so to speak, and go for their Shield hoodie as well. I think that may mitigate some of my concerns around style. But if I was to try and find any other flaw with these trousers, I would be hard pushed because they are really, really high quality, obviously incredibly safe and protective as well, which is the most important thing ultimately. I should also say at the time of making this video, they're coming at £280. If I was to try to put these in context and compare them to something else that we sell, I'd probably lump them in with stuff from PANDO, MOTO, and actually there tends to be a bit of crossover between the two brands. They have a similar kind of approach when it comes to just really functional and usable, lightweight, intelligently designed items. What I would say about Knox is they do tend to have the edge where armour is concerned because, of course, they make their own armour. These put me in mind of the PANDO MOTO skin legging range. We've got a few different versions. They've also got a AAA certified pair, and they do have some carryover as far as flexibility goes, certainly in terms of comfort. But what I would say, aside from anything to do with armour, where these have the edge is they are similarly light and breathable as the AAA leggings from PANDO. But where PANDO say you can actually wear those by themselves when you're on the bike, I don't personally know that many men that would like to go out in leggings on the bike, despite how comfortable that may in fact be. Whereas I do know a lot of people that would go out in jogging bottoms because these do just look like trousers. In that sense, they're a lot less conspicuous than just wearing leggings, but similarly comfortable. Now you can make your own comparisons. Feel free to put anything you think of in the comment section down below. I'll drop links so you can actually compare between the two items if you want to, but let's focus on these for the time being. A huge positive when it comes to jogging bottoms in general is the range of flexibility and therefore the bracket of sizes I suppose you could classify these as. So when it comes to sizing, these are an accurate size. They do them in small, medium, large, etc. But because they are so flexible, you don't have to be quite as strict. You can probably get away between a few different sizes depending on how you want them to fit. And this includes myself. If you're starting to put on a bit of a belly and you're still fighting to be that 32-inch waist, then you don't need to be so concerned with these. The medium actually are the ones you'll see me wearing, and they are very comfortable to wear on or off the bike. The outer fabric is a single layer, and I think one of the truest representations of what you'd want single layer to be, in as much as you don't really notice armor pockets either with these. Sometimes you'll find with certain single layers that although they are, you've still got armor pockets and other things that you can feel from the inside. These obviously have quite clever concealed armored pockets, especially when it comes to your knee armor, which is accessible from the outside, but very comfortable for the lining, for the internals in general. They use some very clever materials when it comes to constructing the outer fabric. Something you'll have heard me mention lots in the past is ultra high molecular weight polyethylene, which is found here, obviously incredibly abrasion resistant, and just feel like regular cotton, maybe a little bit more sort of textile feeling, a bit more technical feeling than the likes of a standard cotton pair of jogging bottoms, but still obviously very flexible and clearly very tough. You actually do still have some storage on these because you've got two pockets on the front there with zip closure because they're jogging bottoms. You'll know this when you've had them yourself in the past. If you stick things like your phone in there and then you sit down, sometimes it'll slide out because they're quite big pockets. So it's definitely useful, especially on the bike, where if you have something slide out, it's going to be miles behind you. These are obviously zip closed. Now around your waist, you have a drawstring, so you can tighten that in if you want to, but If, like me, you prefer wearing a belt, they have belt loops, so you can put your belt through there, and they're really quite big, actually. And don't ruin the style, so you still have the kind of, actually, they look quite classy as far as, if you can even say classy for belt loops, but they really do. They're quite nice looking, and you've got 4 around this, so you can easily fasten a belt around this if you need to. No pockets on the reverse, very clean from the reverse. You have reflectors as well on the seams, which are really, really discreet, but you've got some there, some on your upper thigh as well, so a decent amount of reflective quality to this actually. And then a really small Knox logo on your leg. Branding is kept minimum, and it is black, so it blends in, so you don't really notice it too much. And then actually at the knees, you will notice Armour Pockets. So these go along the seams as well. They are very discreet, almost invisible from the outside. And most importantly, when you stop and you want to get the armour out, you don't have to take off the trousers, you can just get that armour out. And they come with Knox's own in-house armour. It is my preferred armour. I've got a few that sort of stand out to me. I do like SassTech, for example, but if I'm being honest, the safest I feel when it comes to my armour is when I'm wearing Knox items, and it's still just as comfortable, it's still just as flexible, it is also vented, and the newer armours are an improvement on their already great formula. They also tend to be a little bit bigger than some other armours, so the coverage is bigger, and that is important when it comes to knee protection. And you'll probably know this yourselves, but certainly in terms of the trousers that I've used in the past, some of them do fall foul of having that armour in the wrong place, or being a bit too small, or it shifts over, whatever it is, it's not quite covering enough of my knee that I would like it to. With Knox armour, it does. It is quite large, as you can see. It's a decent coverage to your knee, and like I mentioned before, very easy to get access to. I have to say, although I mentioned at the start not being the biggest fan of wearing tracksuit bottoms outdoors where people can actually see me, these may well have converted me. I've seen a few. It's quite a niche category. You don't see a lot of them, but I have seen 1 or 2. I would say this is the best version I've seen to date. But then I wouldn't expect any different from Knox. Their stuff is really well considered, and I know they go through a lot of iterations trying to get it just right. So they've nailed it on this occasion. If you want to see these for yourself, check the links in the description. I will drop links to anything else I mentioned as well, and I will see you soon.